Guys, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. It is currently raining outside today and this week is a little bit chaotic but also exciting. It's kind of like I'm fitting in all of my personal errands I need to get done, but I also want to get a lot of reading in before the end of the month. But let's chat about my TBR for this video because I'm already almost done with one of the books and I'm loving it. Here are the books for this vlog. First up, I have James S.A. Corey's Abaddon's Gate. I have 150 pages left of this book, meaning I'm really almost done. And this book has been thrilling, so plot forward, loving this next installment. This is the third book to the Expanse series, which is a space opera series, kind of following a huge cast of characters. Each book kind of introduces us to like a new set of characters and a new central conflict, but we do have characters that do have reoccurring moments, and it's just so entertaining, and I'm really liking the approach of this third book. I could go on and on and on. And then once I finish this, I do want to jump into The Goblin Emperor by Catherine Addison. I'm hoping to finish this before the end of the month, if not get very, very close, but we shall see. This is a kind of a fantasy standalone. There are some short stories and some sequels that follow different characters, but this, I believe, is a very character-focused story about an unlikely individual kind of gaining the throne and having to navigate a highly volatile political situation. Apparently the main character is just so lovable, and I've heard just such great things about this, so I don't know, I really think I'm going to enjoy it. But it is currently Tuesday afternoon. I'm working on making lunch right now, and then I do plan on enjoying the rain and getting some really good reading in because it's just the best vibes. The other thing about this week is I hope to decorate for fall, or at least start the process of decorating for fall now that I'm home from my summer travels, all the weddings I had this year. I just want to get the home feeling like all cozy, all perfect, heading into the month of September, which I am just super jazzed about. But anyway, welcome to the vlog. We're gonna read some really good fantasy and sci-fi. We're gonna decorate for fall, and it's gonna be a grand old time. Definitely not complaining about this weather. I think we have a chance of rain like every day this week. Catching up on some rain this month, which Texas desperately needs because it's been a very dry summer. And plus it just cools everything down, which is just a 10 out of 10. Ignore my laundry there, but I have a few fall decorations out. I got these from Target. I want to say a couple years ago now, but they glow and flicker, which I just adore. I have more of these. I pulled out my felt pumpkin, this, but I have so much more in the shed that I need to get out. And then the other fall thing, this is the only new fall thing I've bought so far this year. This also lights up. I got this from TJ Maxx Home Goods. Contemplating doing a DIY to make it terracotta, but for now, I think it looks really cute. And I think I'm going to put a bunch of flickering pumpkins and things on this mantle, you know, to increase the vibes all around. I'm making soft-boiled eggs and a demi-baguette for lunch. I don't know, it just sounded good. I just love bread and I love an egg, so together, killer. Alrighty friends, it's time to sit down with my reading light, so cute. And I'm gonna finish this book right now. I'm gonna have a bit of a reading sprint, a reading marathon. I will give you guys my general thoughts and feelings of this book so far because clearly I have read a lot, but I'll also try to be non-spoilery because this is the third book in a series. Hi friends, I'm here with my cup of coffee. We're gonna finish Abaddon's Gate right now, but I want to give you some general thoughts and feelings about this book. I'm going to keep it vague, and part of the reason why I saved including this book in a vlog until I'm near the end, because the third books are always kind of tricky to talk about. But I'm really liking book 3, and honestly each book I do feel like I'm liking more and more. Something that I feel like James S.A. Corey does that I feel like is very successful in keeping you invested in this story is that with every new book, at least so far, it seems like 75 to 80% of the characters are new. So we have fresh storylines, we have fresh points of views, and we're seeing, you know, different sides of an escalating conflict, and I think it just keeps the story feeling fresh regardless of the different political scenarios at play, because when you have different people involved, it's going to be a different experience. Like, for example, one of the main characters in this third book is a priest who is exploring the universe and connecting with people across the galaxy to try to answer questions about God. And personally, I'm not very religious, but I think she as a character is very, very likable, and I think her quest for religion, I think, is a really interesting ad, and I think it works so well. One reason why I also enjoy the Expanse series is its plot. It just moves a mile a minute. It's so fast paced. It's really hard to put down. The tagline of this on the front says like a blockbuster in a book, and I definitely agree. There's lots of action. It's also can be very dark at times, very emotional, very entertaining. It's just a high octane style of story. Structurally, this is a book that's set in space. It's a space opera. It's multi-POV. Again, with every book, we are following a lot of new characters. There are a few characters that stay the same, at least so far. That is Holden, who is a ship captain, and his crew. So you see him kind of get involved in or circle around like hugely important and disaster-struck political scenarios, and you wonder, one, why is this guy always constantly getting in trouble? And two, like, how is he going to help or impact the situation? The overall setting of this book is that in book one, we are introduced to a system of planets, Earth, Mars, and a grouping of space stations called the Belt. They're all kind of living in and around each other, but they all have independent governments, and they all kind of hate each other, as is politics. But there is some sort of like alien technology introduced in book one that really shakes up this system, creating war and tension between all of these figures, but also kind of forcing them to reevaluate, let's say, their various relationships with each other book to book. And it's just really entertaining and really action-packed, and I've just really enjoyed it so far. There's so much of the series left, and I just feel like with each book so far, the authors have continued to be able to escalate it or even just provide like a new setting that keeps it refreshing and interesting. Like, I'm never bored, and I never feel like we're recycling plot lines, at least so far, which I feel like is hard to do with such a big series. Particularly, I'm enjoying this one because I feel like there's a lot of questions about like the intersection of religion and science, and also a lot of discussion about humanity and what happens when they're put in particular situations. Like, I think this book is cool because it just seems like a lot of people were forced in a room together that normally never would be, and seeing what occurs when that happens. Two, when there's a crisis, seeing the responses of different people who are holding power and how that can create chaos or order. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing this book. It has been wild. I would say about halfway through, it really kicked off, and it has not slowed down at all. Anna, who is the priest character, I think was such a fantastic ad, but there's so many other great characters in this as well. It's emotional. I'm hooked, and I'm gonna finish it now. It's 5 o'clock somewhere for Matilda. Actually, it's just 5 o'clock here too. She's ready to hang out with the cold one, but I finished my book. It was really good. I think it's definitely like more of a setup book too for like later books, but it was still so entertaining, so gripping. Yeah, I really want to pick up the fourth one, but I'm not going to, but I really want to. There's my gin bookmark, and I'm gonna take a bit of a break. I'm gonna have a little snack, make dinner. Making one of my current favorite pasta dishes tonight, which I'm just jazzed about. Clay has a variety of work events this week, so it's just me and Matilda hanging, which is always the best. I should maybe decorate a bit for fall. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Hello, it's me. I'm starting dinner, which is a pasta dish, and I need to cut up all of these shallots, so we're gonna get to it. Off the shallots and garlic and red pepper flake, and in goes the tomatoes. And just like that, we are simmering away. This is literally so easy. It's just a can of whole peeled tomatoes, basil, shallot, garlic, put a little bit of sugar, salt, pepper, red pepper, let it cook and simmer, combine the pasta, and then once it's done, I do add a little bit of butter for some creaminess, top with cheese. Bon appetit. And a bon appetit. I wish I had more basil, but everything else is delicious. Finished my book, so I'm gonna download a new cozy game. Hello. There's this like spooky plant game I'm gonna download. I also am watching Selling the OC because I am who I am. And it's gonna be a good night. The gang's all here. And I'm starting the Goblin Emperor. Good morning, everyone. A little coffee. We're gonna read a little bit more of the Goblin Emperor. Cheers. And then I'll give you a reading update. Hello. I am dressed. It's a little bit later in the day. I've been getting stuff done and just completely forgot to film, but I owe you guys a reading update because I am about to sit down and do some more reading of the Goblin Emperor, which I am really liking. I stepped on my dress and almost fell. Other news is I was going to decorate for fall this afternoon, but then realized Clay is working in the office and he has the keys to our shed, which is where all of our decorations are. So that's gonna have to wait until he gets home. So in the meantime, reading, editing, all of that stuff. I caught up on most of my other work throughout the day because it is actually pretty late, I won't lie. But yeah, let's sit down and talk Goblin Emperor. I am about 80 pages of the way through the Goblin Emperor and I am really liking this book. I had pretty high expectations going into it just based on the synopsis. It really felt like something I would really like. I was particularly called to by the likable main character, which a lot of the quotes talk about how likable our main character Maya is, and then the highly political nature of the story and kind of this fish out of water storyline of our main character Maya kind of being thrown headfirst into very dangerous court politics. I really enjoy that setup. And that is definitely true to bill. That is exactly what this book is focusing on and kind of the style of the writing. Out the gate, I have to say, I'm really enjoying the writing style of this book. It kind of has a quirky, traditional element to it. Some of the characters, when they're speaking out loud to each other, have this Shakespearean vibe to them, but the inner monologue or the narration is not that. So I think it's an interesting mix of styles there, and it just kind of gives me classic vibes, if you know what I mean. So far, I am liking this story. I've really only encountered our main character Maya basically being told that he has inherited the throne after his father and his older brothers have died, and he has been kind of raised in isolation as a political outcast due to the disfavoring of his mother who passed away when he was a child, and just other political scenarios of him being half goblin. But now he's an emperor and he has to kind of figure everything out on the fly, and it's super dangerous and it's just really intriguing so far. Yeah, I haven't read enough to really talk about how intense the political plot is going to get, but the introduction, the characters, and the style of the writing have all really called out to me so far, and I am really enjoying it. I'm gonna sit down now and read more. My hope is just to get as far as I can before the end of the month, and we'll just see how that goes. But nevertheless, that's the plan. Fall decorating later and into tomorrow. Reading and editing right now. It's not late, but it's later. I just spent the last, hello Millie, 2 hours editing. So I haven't started reading yet, and I've decided to fully embrace coziness. So I'm gonna put on a more comfortable outfit. I'm gonna make myself a nice cup of non-caffeinated tea to enjoy. I'm gonna get a solid bout of reading in, worry about dinner later, and play more of my cozy Switch games. I started this horticulture game. It's so simple, kind of mindless. You're basically just solving this town's problems with plants and things, but the vibes are so good. The music, there's all this rain. It's not super complicated. There's a bit of a story, so it's an easy game to multitask, but it keeps my attention. I'm finding it very calming, very soothing. It keeps me off my phone, which was one of the main reasons I wanted to try to get more into cozy games, because sometimes I feel I just sit on my phone way too much and I'd rather be doing something else. And this is that something else. So I'm gonna play more of that later because I'm really, really liking it, but I really wanted to get another bout of reading in because I'm liking the Goblin Emperor so much, and I just haven't been able to read as much of it today as I wanted. So that's the plan. Let's get changed. Let's make some tea. Yeah. Look at this professional tea girl. I'm a changed woman. I have a little sachet of chamomile. Oh, this is gonna be an absolute delight. Also, electric kettles, genius. Genius invention. Go off. I have my tea. I have my book. I have my Matilda. We are ready to vibe. It's too dark, but it just started pouring outside, and I'm heating up my pasta sauce that I made last night, just basically reprising my dinner. I'm gonna eat some pasta, enjoy this rain, watch some Netflix with Matilda. Incredible. Truly a thing of beauty. Housewives, strange horticulture, me, Matilda, just having a good night. It is time to sit down and read more of this book. I'm actually gonna do a reading update. So I have read, I wanna say, about 45 more pages since we last chatted, so I have more updates. So far I would say I stand by everything I've said about this book. I'm really enjoying it, and it is pretty much exactly what I was hoping, which is more of like, again, a classic fantasy style story. The writing style is very homey for me because it feels, I don't want to use the word antiquated because it's intentional in its like phrasing, but it's purposely trying to have like this like old timey vibe, and for me it really works out. The politics too, I would say, are very like court intrigue heavy. There's lots of like trying to understand who's connected to who and who are all these people and like what are their motivations, and we are obviously thrown in this novel knowing absolutely nothing, much like our main character Maya, and we are basically uncovering and trying to decipher people's like plots as he is. And so far I'm finding it to be very entertaining, and I personally like this sort of slower, more methodical version of a political leaning story. Like there's a lot of bureaucracy, and I kind of like watching our characters work through that. Two, I just really like seeing Maya settle in. He's clearly very, very capable, just not really given a lot of opportunity to show that off. And him kind of struggling with the new reality of even being in charge, because it was never even an option in his mind. So he's kind of confronting a lot of new realities that he never really had to think of before, like loss of privacy and who to trust, and you know, can he even really have a genuine relationship with any friends? And did he even have that before this moment? He's not even sure. So yes, I have quite a bit of this book left. I feel like it's going to continue to be a bit of a slow burn, but I'm really appreciating like the pacing of this, the style of writing, and just the overall vibe of this book is just been really great. And it's really bringing me back. Like, I just love a fantasy story written like this, and it's just charming, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna sit down and read more of this. My hope is to get almost to the 200-page mark tonight, read a lot more tomorrow, and that's where we're at. Hi friends, good morning. I'm up and dressed. Whoop. I'm actually about to head out. I have a doctor's appointment, and then I'm meeting up with my friend Emily for lunch, which I'm really excited for. Then I gotta hunker down and do a variety of things, but this morning, we're going on a bit of an adventure. We got juice. Hi, I feel like I've done a terrible job vlogging today. I had doctor's appointments and I got lunch with my friend Emily, as you saw, and then I just got home and it was just working. But I'm taking a break because I'm finally doing the thing that I love so much, and that is fall decor. So I'm gonna go get my boxes of decor, and we're gonna start setting up, finding some good spots for it all. So let's get started. Alrighty, here's my box of goods. I'm gonna sit down and we'll take everything out together and do a little bit of an inventory, right, Matilda? Hello, we're here with my fall box of wonder, and let's see what we got. So first off, I have these two flickering pumpkins that I got from Target a few years ago. I love these. I actually have more of these somewhere in this box. I have this felt pumpkin, which I think is really cute. I have some classic autumn leaf garland we gotta find a place for. So many places to hang this up. I might need to get more, some might say. I would think so. Pottery Barn pumpkin pillows. I actually have two. I splurged on another one. So I have the white one, which got a little squished in this box. And then the brown one, which, huge fan. I think Target released dupes of these this year. I'll try to link them below if they're still in stock. I have my flickering candle. Oh, I'm realizing I forgot my big jack-o'-lantern, because I put this inside my big jack-o'-lantern. That'll be really cute. Another flickering pumpkin. A different little felt pumpkin. Look how cute this is. Pumpkin. I like pumpkins. Pumpkins are my favorite decor. I don't have a lot of like Halloween decor. I'm more of a fall decor girl, but I think I'm gonna get more Halloween decor this year, especially for outside. Okay, I grabbed the last two items. My big metal jack-o'-lantern, which I put this candle in for a little extra ambiance. And then I also have this guy, which I picked up a few weeks ago at Home Goods. This is another like jack-o'-lantern with cutouts that also lights up. And this feels a little more Halloween-y, which I like. Start putting this together. I think I'm gonna put most of the decorations in the library room because I spend a lot of time in here, especially reading, and I think it's just like a cute, cozy room, and I feel like it could vibe well with the fall decor. But let's get going. It's so dark in here because I closed my blinds to film, but here's my little stockpile in Matilda of all of my pumpkins. So let's get started. All right, so my goal with this fireplace, I already put this little leaf felt little string up. I want to put a lot of things that kind of glow in the fireplace. I think that could be really cool to kind of give it like a spooky, cozy vibe. So I'm gonna try to construct that now because we don't really use this wood burning fireplace very much right now. It's really hot and it's kind of messy. So I feel like I can get ambiance with lights. All right, can you guys kind of tell? It's a little cozy, it's a little vibey. Obviously when it's darker or rainy, I think it'd be better. I also think it could be cool to get a bunch of like LED candles and fill my fireplace with them and maybe get like a remote just to turn it on and off through this fall winter season. Ooh, I'm sorry, I'm sitting on Matilda's toy. Sorry, Millie. It's a candy corn, how seasonally appropriate. I think that could be a really cool add to this place, but I'm really happy. I've never had a mantle to decorate before, so this was really fun. All right, I'm tragically running out of decor, so that clearly means I need a Target run in my future. I also ran out of command strips, so I'm using a nail. Nobody tell play, all right? Fingers crossed. Oh, I need more nails. I need more nails. Voila! So I opted to also put the pumpkin pillows in here, and I did add this garland. I think this room could add a little more pizzazz. I especially want to do something with this TV area. I think we're gonna mount our TV, so I think once that's done, oh, I really need something. I can decorate like this console table, which I'm excited about, but Millie's lost her toy. I'm really happy with these additions. I think I'm gonna go on Target right now and buy a few more things though, because that's just who I am. Hi friends, it's me. I'm about to sit down and do some more reading, but I wanted to give you a reading update because I feel like I haven't done one since last night. So good news, I am just under the 250 page mark of the Goblin Emperor, which also means I've read about 400 pages so far for this vlog, which I am pretty jazzed with. I am continuing to really enjoy this book. Everything I've said is like continuing to be true. Like the pacing is slower. Like I don't know if this would be for everyone, but if you really love like a more classical, slow burning political fantasy, this could be a good book to check out. What I also just really enjoy is how endearing the main character is. He's just really likable from the get-go. Like you're rooting for him. He's in such a difficult situation. And I really love watching him like make connections with people like within his new like castle environment as the emperor, like trying to figure out who he needs to trust, but he also is like by nature a trusting person. Like he doesn't want to like be suspicious of people or to judge people. Like you see him like naturally try to acclimate to people around him because he, you know, cares about them and he's just a good person. And so it's just like, he's really charming, Maya, our main character, and it's just so easy to root for him. Obviously the conspiracy of like kind of the investigation of who killed his father and his older brothers is really like starting to take center stage. What I also think is cool about this world it is fantasy, obviously. Like, it's an elven kingdom, and our main character is half elven, half goblin, and there's a lot of like societal realities because of that, and he's definitely considered an outcast because of his goblin blood, but now he's in charge. So learning culturally about this world has been cool. Particularly, there is an element of our main character Maya like trying to learn more about his like goblin heritage because he was forbidden to really learn it growing up. So I think like his identity is also like a pretty strong part of this book, and him exploring that I think is a really great element to have included. It's also like a fantasy world which has touches of magic. Everything is sort of just introduced to us. There has been no like info dumping, so far there's been just like touches of magic, but there's also technology. Like, the king and his sons died in like an airplane crash. Like, I would think like a Zeppelin crash, but there is this sort of, it's just like an interesting world of like some innovation, magic, like magical creatures and like different fantasy groups that we kind of run into. And I just think the structure is really interesting and like very visual, and it's just, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to call it cozy necessarily, but I just think because like the stakes are high. Like, I'm not trying to pretend like the stakes of this book aren't high, but there's just something about it. It like feels like I'm just rooting for our main character so much, and it almost has this like hopeful edge to it. Like, he's just so likable. I don't know. Am I even making sense? Like, it almost feels cozy. And you know what? I'm gonna stand by that statement. Like, this is a cozy-esque read for anything but just like how it makes me feel inside, warm and fuzzy. But it is getting more intense. I'm really curious to see how it's going to continue to like, how things are going to continue to transpire. I'm hoping to get almost done with it by tomorrow when I wrap up this vlog. But yeah, obviously my goal is always to read about 500 pages, so I'm definitely on track for that. Clay is on his way home from work, and we actually have a bit of a date night tonight. We're getting sushi, so I probably won't be able to do more reading until after dinner. So that's why I wanted to get some more reading in now, but I did owe you an update, so there we are. And she's dressed. She's ready to go for a nice sushi dinner. I didn't brush my hair, so I just did a little ponytail, but everything else, she tried. I love scallops.
We'll take a photo of this one. In there?
Yeah. Watching some Drive to Survive because Clay's home and back to hang out with me. Good morning, everyone. I have not checked in because I've had a slew of dentist appointments this morning, but I'm home. I'm finally gonna get some reading in, just a way to decompress from both the shocking, unexpected cost of dental work and having to talk to my insurance for like the past 2 hours. So I'm gonna read, but right now I'm actually gonna heat up just a quick lunch because I am starving. And I also just wanted to say hello, happy Friday. God bless Whole Foods prepared meals because they're not only delicious, they're so convenient. Yum. Trying to match Matilda's energy right now, absolutely vibing, enjoying the sun as she should. And I'm actually gonna do my last bout of reading, hopefully, at least for this vlog anyway. I'm gonna sit down and get some reading in today, much deserved. We're going into the weekend. I'm still so charmed by my decorations. I wanna get more, but for now I think these are so fun. Let's read. friends, it's Reagan and welcome to the end of the vlog. The next day, I just wanted to pop in and quickly wrap up all I was able to read over the course of this week. And I'm also happy to report that I did read just about 500 pages, which I always love to see when it happens. So obviously, this is the wrong book that I grabbed. I didn't read this book. All right, fixed. So the first book I read for this vlog was Abaddon's Gate. I only had about 150 pages of this book left once I started this vlog, but I loved this. This was explosive. I couldn't put it down. It was the perfect book to capture my attention. I also felt like it really proved that James S.A. Corey can write like incredibly large scale intense plots, but also kind of keeping things in a more like smaller setting and still make it fascinating and gripping. Other thing I realized within this series is that it does feel like we're going to be constantly being introduced to new characters, which also just makes this series so much more enjoyable in my point of view. Each book is just so engaging. I'm fascinated by it. I'm so excited to finally start watching the show soon, but I for sure feel like I'm gonna be reading book 4 before the end of this year because this was just such a fun ride. And then from there, I also read about 350 pages of The Goblin Emperor. I am just delighted by this story. I really thought I would be when I, added this to my TBR and decided to pick it up. It's just engaging. And the slower pacing I actually feel like works really well for me. I love the characters and there's the overall vibe I find to be incredibly successful. It's just a style of fantasy that I personally find to be very homey and I don't always run into so much, especially anymore. And it could just be like a failure of my own like discovery abilities. But I just think this book has, I don't know, it's just like hopeful, but like there's still this level of intensity. So it's really balancing like this dark and light situation. And because our main character is so dang likable, you're just so happy to like be along for the ride, if that makes sense. But I'm looking forward to finishing this book. I think there's about 100 or so pages left and I'm curious to see like how all the political elements begin to wrap up. But I'm so happy this ended up being just as like delightful as I hoped it would be. So that is a great sign as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog and I will see you soon with another one soon. Goodbye.